So it doesn't necessitate that just because someone is from Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah that he is sinless. It doesn't mean that. Nor does it mean that he will not be punished in the grave. Nor does it mean that he will not be punished in the hereafter. Let's begin with question number 12 that was put to Shaykh al-Fawzan. The question is, are these jama'at, these groups and parties that are present today, do they enter into the 72 sects that are destroyed? So the Shaykh, حفظه ta'ala, he mentioned in his answer, he said, Na'am. He said, yes. All of those, or whomsoever, opposes Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah, among those who ascribe themselves to Islam in da'wah or in the aqeedah or in anything from the foundations of Iman, then he is included and he is counted among the 72 sects. And he is encompassed by the threat of the fire. And there is for him rebuke and censure and punishment according to his level of opposition. So that answer is fairly clear and no doubt in line with that which we have already mentioned regarding the division of the Ummah, that the 72 sects, that they are those who oppose the Sunnah of Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the way of the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum. Just as Allah has mentioned in the Quran or stated in the Quran, وَمَنْ يُشَاقِقِ رَسُولًا مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُ الْهُدَى وَيَعْتَبِ غَيْرَ سَبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ نُوَلِّهِ مَا تَوَلَّى وَنُصْلِهِ جَهَنَّمَ وَسَاءَتْ مَصِيرًا. That whomsoever contradicts the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam after the clear guidance has been conveyed to him, and then he follows a path, يَتَّبِي غَيْرَ سَبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, he follows a path other than the path of the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum, then Allah will leave him in the path that he has chosen and burn him in the hellfire. So that proves that whomsoever opposes the Sunnah of Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the way of the believers, the first of the believers being the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum, then that person is a person who is threatened with the fire and burning in the fire. And likewise the hadith of the 73 sects, the well-known hadith, that all of them are into the hellfire except for one. So any sect and any person who opposes Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah, meaning from those who are within the da'ira of al-Islam, so they are the Ummatu Da'wah, meaning that they responded and they became Muslim, or that they were born into Muslim families, so they are Ahlul Islam. So if they oppose the Da'wah, meaning that which the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ahlul Sunnah, the Sahaba, that which they were upon in Da'wah, in Aqeedah, in anything from the usul of the deen, in anything from the usul of Iman, meaning the Aqeedah, and the foundations of the religion, then he is counted amongst the 72 sects. So he comes under the threat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's punishment, as in the hadith of the 73 sects. So there is only one that is saved, and they are those upon that which the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his Sahaba radiyallahu anhum were upon. And that is only one sect. They are not numerous. There is no division within them, and there is no deviation within that one sect. It does not mean, of course, that those who ascribe themselves to that sect and they follow the Aqeedah and they are upon the Aqeedah of Salafiyah and even the methodology of Salafiyah, it doesn't mean that they are sinless. It doesn't necessitate that they are free from fault. Because you can find a Sunni who sins, a Sunni who may fornicate, a Sunni who may listen to music. He's Salafi, but he falls into these kaba'ir. So he is threatened with Allah's punishment due to the kaba'ir, due to him falling into sin. However, as far as his aqeedah is concerned, his methodology is concerned, his view and his vision of the kitab and the sunnah and its understanding, then that is in line with what the Prophet ﷺ and his sahaba were upon. So it doesn't necessitate that just because someone is from Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah that he is sinless. It doesn't mean that. Nor does it mean that he will not be punished in the grave. Nor does it mean that he will not be punished in the hereafter if he committed or if he fell into a kabira min al-kabair, if he fell into a sin from the major sins. So no one should feel safe. And this is why the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, that they never felt safe from the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is why the likes of Uthman and Umar and Abu Bakr, that they used to cry over their, or what they considered to be their deficiencies. They used to cry over it. And as Ibn Abi Mulaika radiyallahu rahimahullah ta'ala from the Tabi'in, he said that I met such and such a number of the Sahaba, and all of them used to fear hypocrisy for themselves, that they used to fear that they may have fallen into a branch from the branches of hypocrisy. Waliyadu billah. So therefore, just because we say that we adhere to the manhaj of the Salaf and the Aqeedatul Salafiyah and our Tawheed is sound, and in all of these affairs we have certainty. A Salafi is not in doubt with regard to his Tawheed, or with regard to his methodology, with regard to his Aqeedah, with regard to the matters of the unseen that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has informed us of in the Quran. But that does not mean that we are free from falling into errors and shortcomings and sins. So therefore, adhere to the manhaj of the Salaf, adhere to the Aqeedah of the Salaf, adhere also to the behavior and the conduct and the manners and the akhlaq of the Salaf and the adab of the Salaf, because they were the most pious of people, and that's why they referred to as the Salafus Salihin, are they not? They are referred to as the righteous predecessors. Why are they referred to as the righteous or pious predecessors? Because they were pious and they were righteous in terms of their obedience to Allah, and in terms of their piety, in terms of their wara' and their desire to be near to Allah and their ibadah. So the Sahaba radiallahu anhum and those who followed their way truly, then they follow the way of the Salaf in terms of their usul, their aqeedah, their manhaj, their love of Rasulullah, and their love of following the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, obeying Allah and His Messenger, and keeping away from that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam prohibited us from. So all of that encompasses safety from the hellfire. But as for the 72 sects, then when we refer to the 72 sects, we are talking about the sects who deviated in the usul of the deen and the aqeedah and the methodology, such as the Khawarij and the Shia and the Mu'tazila and the Qadariyah and the Jabariyah and the Murji'ah and the people of falsafa, those who follow the philosophical, various philosophical schools of thought, and likewise those who fell into kalam, ahlul kalam, and other than them. So they are the ones who deviated in this era, in these arenas. As for those who deviated to such a degree that it nullified their Islam completely, like the extreme Shia or the extreme Jahmiyyah, and like the Ghullat amongst the Jahmiyyah, and likewise the extreme Sufiya and the people of falsafa, the philosophers who went to extremes and they negated Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or they nullified their belief in Allah, then they are outside of the 72 sects. They are outside of that. They are amongst the people of kufr and shirk. So when we talk about the 72 sects, that we are referring to those people who ascribe themselves to Islam and they are considered as Muslims but deviated. And therefore we say that whoever falls into the 72 sects, and remember there is one saved sect and that is referred to as Firqatun Najiyah. So whoever falls into the 72 deviated sects, then we say that they are not in the hellfire forever, but rather we say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish them, or that He threatens them with punishment, and their deviation has led them to earn the anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.